guys, Ruebella here. You know, it's such a beautiful day outside. I can go dance and skip around the cemetery. But alas, there's a rampaging Brachiosaurus out there, raising all magnitudes of unpleasantries. This puts me in the mood for a dinosaur movie. Something fun and British. Ah yes, The Land That Time Forgot. I said land, not lamb. Although, it goes without saying, The Lamb That Time Forgot is noteworthy for its 2 sequels. So we're going to ignore that inferior Asylum version from 2009 and focus on the classic 1975 Amicus production instead, which follows the Edgar Rice Burroughs book quite faithfully. Land was the first of Amicus's quartet of movies dealing with lost worlds. All featured rugged, square-jawed American hero Doug McClure.
I'm Troy McClure.
I said Doug McClure.
Have it your way.
Anyway, let's just start the movie. Okay, so we start the movie with a canister catapulted into the sea, or thrown. I'm going with the former. The opening credits accompany the canister until it reaches some bloke, probably expecting it to be a letter from his pen pal. 'Tis no letter but a log. One of those automated logs, as Doug McClure narrates.
I do not expect anyone to believe the story I'm about to relate. It must have been a little after 3 o'clock in the afternoon that it began. The afternoon of June 3rd, 1916.
Which was during the Great War, as the evil Germans torpedo his boat.
Fire one! Fire one!
War is unpleasant.
Survivors may live to fight another day.
The survivors who live to fight another day seek refuge in a lifeboat. Resident hero Bowen Tyler, played by Doug here. His love interest by default, Lisa, the scientist. Bradley, the doomed ship's captain. Olsen, the wacky fat guy, and some expendable characters. Billy Zane, best not be on there.
Borg requests permission to surface.
Very well, Deeds.
Ahoy there!
What are you doing, Doug? That's the ghost galleon!
Mr. Bradley.
I have to pee. Hearing the subsurface, Tyler chooses to fight and take control since he knows a great deal about U-boats.
We wouldn't stand a chance.
It's the only chance we have. I know these boats like the back of my hand. Now we've got about 2 minutes before that hatch opens.
They hop aboard and without too much ruckus, take control of the ship.
Now that you have us, what do you propose to do with us?
We're gonna reenact Das Boot with sock puppets.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do with you, Captain. Put you in the nearest British port.
Captain von Schoenfurt.
I don't suppose you've heard of the Tylers from Santa Monica.
Well, I'm Bowen Tyler. And my father was building these submarines before you even thought of it.
Schoenbort's right-hand man, Dietz, manages to scurry away and smash the radio.
Now there's no chance of contacting Allied shipping.
Up on deck, Tyler and Tyler and Bradley spot a British warship and signal a rescue.
No good, they don't read us! Well, they don't believe it. Let's get below.
So back down they go, diving as deep as possible, wishing they could torpedo someone over there with a note that says, "We British took over this German sub. Please don't bomb us, and bring tea." Back on the seas, Tyler does some Shatner-style acting.
There was only one thing we could do. Head the U-boat on a western course and try to reach a neutral American port before our fuel ran out.
Observing the unusual weather, Tyler and Bradley find out Dietz messed with the compass.
I'm going south for 6 days.
Stupid, lousy Dietz! So the two realize they're heading for South America when Captain Schoenports reveals he's talent for impeccable timing.
Take the helm. Did you think that as commander of this ship I would not have a master key? Now, there's a German supply ship operating in this area, and you, commander, will be transferred to her and shot as a pirate.
We then kill some time before the next action beat as Lisa and the captain gab about life and war.
I'm a biologist, Captain. I study the structure of living motivations and their behavior. But I don't understand you. How can anyone who is so interested in life follow a profession which is devoted to destruction and killing?
The study of nature, Miss Clayton, has taught me that life is founded upon killing and destruction.
But human beings needn't. The ship you torpedoed contained nothing but innocent passengers, women and children.
And a hold full of arms and ammunition that would be used to kill women and children in my country.
Oh, snap! Oh, wait, that's so horrible.
Oh, yes. How else would it have exploded so quickly?
As the supply ship draws near, Lisa sneaks about and frees Tyler and his men from dressing up as pirates and getting shot. It's an eye for an eye as our heroes torpedo the supply ship to death, screwing everyone over in the process.
Nice shooting, Mr. Tyler. We had fuel, fresh water. We have enough supplies for 1 week. What do you propose to do now?
U-boating their way in hopes of safety, Tyler, Bradley, and smug Jerkface spot something unusual for these waters.
Icebergs. There are no icebergs north of 14 in these waters.
Lost at sea, Von Scheuerwartz accepts Tyler's request for help. Up on deck, our characters realize they've taken a wrong turn at Albuquerque when they spot a frozen landmass. Pelican!
What do you make of it?
Did you ever hear of Caproni, an early Italian navigator? I remember reading in his book, he describes a new continent in the South Seas, a rock-bound, inhospitable coast. He saw no sign of life.
And landing on the beach of the Skull, where he heard the roar of the greatest beast.
Called it Caprona and sailed away. I believe we are looking at the coast of Caprona.
But we'll have to do what he couldn't do. Find a place to land. If we don't, we'll die.
Finding no way in, Olsen and some guy find a warm current coming from an undersea entrance. And so they make a go of it. Instead of Tyler letting Von Schoenboast do his job, he acts as navigator while demanding more power.
More power. Give me more power.
It makes me nostalgic for that old submarine ride at Disneyland. They pass through the Styx safe and sound when suddenly... The principal characters have a look outside, marveling all the amazing sights before them.
They look like pterodactyls. But they can't be. They've been extinct for millions of years.
If I am not mistaken, that is a diplodocus.
Diplodocus?
Look at that big crocodile.
Imagine explaining that to his wife. Soon after, a plesiosaur attacks. They take care of the long-necked monster without having to give it tree pity. Dining over a fine meal plesiosaur, Tyler and the captain agree to put their differences aside to ensure their mutual survival.
I will command my men, Mr. Bradley his, and you, Mr. Tyler, as a sort of neutral, will be in charge.
Tastes more like mastodon to me. Heading for land, we learn Caprona used to be a volcanic crater, the largest in the history of the planet. Another interesting tidbit of info, the water's alive and unfit for drinking.
Until we find a stream or pool that is free of them, we will have no drinking water.
Exploring the new territory, Von Schoenlortz fancies Caprona is a very magical place.
It's like a geologic exhibit representing almost all the ages of the Earth.
So Caprona's Joan Rivers, basically? But unbeknownst to them, a tribe of Geico spokesmen spy from afar, watching Bradley and an underling fill a canteen. Nearby, Tyler, Captain Schoenpartz, and company spot a pair of allosaurs right as the cavemen attack. The dinosaurs scare off the pack of stray Rob zombies, except for one. Oh, they look like the Land Before Time puppets from Pizza Hut.
In primitive nervous systems like this, even a fatal wound might register in the brain with a delayed action.
I'm no expert, but I imagine the hide on an animal that big would take a while for the bullets to rip through the muscle. Have you seen the police video of Randy Quaid running wild in Times Square? It took the National Guard over an hour to bring him down. It was bittersweet for his brother Dennis, who delivered the fatal shot. Where was I? Oh yeah, the caveman comes to and freaks out. Suddenly goes wild, prompting Tyler to do the only sensible thing.
Sorry,
No, Mr. Tyler, he was trying to tell you something. He's not an animal. He had a reason.
You moron! You jerk!
Back on the Ruby sub.
What are we supposed to do? Teach him tricks?
Some were almost like apes. Others closer to animal. Such variety in a single tribe. Why?
We also learn Caprona has oil, and knows where to find it.
Good old Am.
Guides the crew where the oil is, until they want to head north.
Come on, Am.
What's the matter?
Ask him.
Stolu, boat to arm. I think he's saying that a Bolu can't go beyond this point.
And this marks the boundary of his territory.
Lousy dates! And with that, they enter the Forbidden Zone, and spied on by Stolu. Day for night falls as Tyler and his men set up camp when the Stolu do a surprise attack, putting their Ewok brand of weapons to good use. They're driven off when they discover being shot either kills or hurts you.
Yes, he's different from the Bolu. His species is more advanced.
Tries telling them something through stick figure art that he'll evolve into the Stolu and then into the superior Galu. Trekking deeper into the land that time forgot, shows Tyler's party where the oil's at, and if they can make chocolate syrup out of it. But enough of that, because we got more dinosaur action this time. It's right out of the Hammer production, 1 million years BC, as a Triceratops dukes it out with a Ceratosaurus.
Wow.
As Earl Sinclair's boss makes an appearance, Tyler commands everyone to get back to the sub and man the guns.
Get out!
Use searchlight.
The dinosaur is then blasted to smithereens as its mate escapes.
Fascist? You know, there's a secret to this island. Something that we haven't been able to fathom yet. And whether we stay or get away may depend on it.
Back at camp, the party constructs a machine to refine the crude oil. They also set up a stockade to keep the prehistoric wildlife and possible giant ape out. Back in the captain's quarters, Schoenmorphs makes a startling discovery.
It's the same in the microscopic world. Creatures at every stage of evolutionary development. The same with the men, the same with the animals. Millions of years of evolution embraced on this island.
This is extraordinary. It's absolutely extraordinary.
Von Schoenberg is right. The creatures of Caprona were like those that existed in prehistoric times. And the further we followed the river north, the more highly developed they became.
We learn the refining machine works like a charm.
You know, it could be more difficult to leave Caprona than it was to land. We'll have that current with us going out to the tunnel. It'll be very difficult to navigate.
But not to worry, as Dietz stays positive and being a colossal Andy Dick at the same time.
Captain von Schoenwurz will take us through. I was with him when he took our U-33 down the Norwegian coast in winter to sink a British cruiser.
Eat it, Dietz!
He's not very good against lifeboats, though, is he?
Oh, it's on now, Dietz!
No! Ah! Turn of the flame!
Popeye. Oh, I got an arrow, Popeye. Oh,
The rest look on like slack-jawed lollygaggers until Papa Schoenburps breaks it up. Deets, you dirty.
Do you want to remain on this island for the rest of your life?
Well, we'll be going home soon. Ship, submarine.
It's dinner time when our heroes notice the lack of pungent caveman odor. Evolution calls as is inducted into the Stolu Bone Society. Still needs to go through the initiation ritual, which is stealing the skull of Guanji and mounting it in their cave. The following day, Tyler and his men go on what might be their last hunt, as they have enough fuel to leave Caprona. I just thought of something. The Invisible Man could be in this movie. We'd never even know it.
Each time we've had to go further and further north to find game.
That's exactly why I came. I think we're getting nearer the source of life on Caprona.
They find a Stolu encampment and his women bathing in the secret of Caprona.
Do you remember those samples we took from the river?
No.
And the spawn we looked at under the microscope?
No.
This must be how life begins on Caprona. That's the secret. Every creature must lay eggs in this way. They flow into the river and develop through every stage of evolution. Again and again, a time must come when they must go forward.
So in short, nothing in Caprona can ever go back. So don't bring your frisbee. Hearing a noise.
Mr. Tyler!
Yeah. Okay, so that's not what happened in this version. So they go into the Green Hell to finish off the tribe when each of Tyler's men is picked off one by one. Nam had rules. Caprona didn't. They even kidnap Lisa when Tyler's guard is down.
Watch me fool Fred out of his pebbles.
Attempting to rescue her, Tyler runs into a familiar face, the Stolu version of Sadly, their reunion is cut short when this guy shows up. Meanwhile, the Stolu bring Lisa to their camp and fight over her. A little rough for Red Rover, guys. She sees Ty from a distance, signaling to make a run for it. And to make it fast.
Captain, the last barrel has been filled with stock of food and water aboard. May I request permission to withdraw from the stockade and rejoin the U-33?
But Mr. Tyler and the others aren't back yet.
So, we're better off without them.
Okay, make it really, really fast. Have a nice trip, Mr. Tyler. The eruption grows increasingly violent, debris crushing all but one of the cavemen pursuing Lisa. Sort of like that board game, Fireball Island. Tyler comes to her rescue and heroically fends off the attacker. They try climbing out when... more cavemen?
We cannot wait any longer, Captain. At least let us get aboard the ship.
Very well, Deeds.
They must be Galu.
We go.
Butu!
Most evolved my butt. Bond villains aren't this stupid. Whoops, not that way. The camp is on fire. Oh yeah, this movie had dinosaurs in it. Anywho, aboard the sub, Von Royerboats and Bradley patiently await Tyler and Lisa's arrival. Dietz, not so much.
I don't like the look of the lake, Captain. It's getting worse every minute. We stay here much
We're not leaving without them. Forget Skipper.
Don't be a fool, Deeds!
them below. Slow ahead, both engines.
Finally reaching the beach, Tyler and Lisa see they are too late.
Landing! On shore! Wait!
But early enough to see Dietz in full jerk-face mode.
Goodbye, Miss Lisa! Wiedersehen, Mr. Tyler!
Leaving? We are leaving?
We haven't been on the Matterhorn yet.
Hope you enjoy your stay. Submerge! We cannot breathe! The heat! The smoke! Get below! It's too late! It's all too late!
Now we have to wait in line. The sub, unable to withstand the intense heat and underwater explosions, explodes and sinks, killing everybody on board. But not before Bradley shoots Dietz dead with one last breath. Wait, where's the blood? I want blood! Our survivors, Lisa and Tyler, look on, much like Dr. Klopek did when his house burned down.
You cannot go back!
Beginning.
His body rolls next to Captain Nemo's. So, our adventure ends as Tyler and Lisa trek across the vast continent of Caprona, forever moving north, spurned by the Galu, and only having each other.
If God wills it, we shall live our lives here. We are determined to move ever northward, ever forward, toward the greater mysteries that lie ahead of this land that time forgot.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
So it wasn't catapulted. They don't make them like this anymore. A sleeper hit, Lamb was followed by The People That Time Forgot, released 2 years later and was a major letdown. It changed so many things from the book, Amicus didn't even bother with the third entry, Out of Time's Abyss. But they did make up for it with the entertaining At the Earth's Core and Warlords of Atlantis, the former also based on something Burroughs wrote. The Land That Time Forgot had a lot of big names behind the scenes, like Alan Hume, who was the director of photography not only on this, but such big movies like Return of the Jedi, a couple of Bond movies, Runaway Train, Fish Called Wanda, and many others. Oh, and the effects were supervised by Derek Meddings, whose resume is legendary, as it is infinite. So it's no wonder land looks as slick as it does. Nicely detailed model work, subtle details, and atmospheric lighting. Budgetary restrictions probably explain for the dinosaur puppets, but at least they're shot at the right angles and add a certain charm the movie might not have had. The acting is good too. John McNeary being the standout.
Surprise! I'm your secret Santa!
Also, Mr. McClure replaced Stuart Whitman before shooting began. My one complaint is there wasn't enough dinosaur carnage. The cavemen do all the work thinning out the cast. Getting killed by a caveman doesn't have the same awesomeness of getting killed by a dinosaur. This was actually from the producers meddling. If they replaced the cavemen with Fraggles, I wouldn't have minded. Okay, so the year is 1997, and The Lost World Jurassic Park shatters box office records for Memorial Day weekend. Some bigwig executive wants to hop on the dino bandwagon and adapt his own Lost World story. So he remakes The Land That Time Forgot, locks John McTiernan as director, and assembles this cast. For Bo and Tyler, the hero of this piece, let's go with the big name. Someone square-jawed. I'm gonna go with the obvious and cast George Clooney. For Lisa, we need someone to exude brains, survival skills, be cute as a button without even trying. The lovely Emily Mortimer could bring a lot to the part. Captain Von Sourpuss needs to have screen presence. Someone you can hiss at from the start and root for by the end. So let's go with Dutch actor Rutger Hauer. Oh, and let's have him use his own voice, please. For the villain, Willem Dafoe should play Dietz. You can really make any character you play slimy just by looking like Willem Dafoe. Plus, you can do an effective German accent.
This is my little nephew Werner.
For Bradley, the captain of the British ship, let's cast a non-British actor. Michael McKean, of Spinal Tap and Best in Show fame, would make a perfect sidekick for Clooney's Tyler. For the overweight Olsen, let's have a go at it and cast Rubius Haggard himself, British comedian Robert Coltrane. And finally, for Am, the caveman, we need someone who is goofy, endearing, and very Neanderthal. John C. Reilly fits the bill quite nicely. So, until next time, kiddies, stay safe, eat your teeth, and brush your vegetables. Wait. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna get some reading done.